So last week we were taking a look at God's formula for how we are to trust in Him, which came from Proverbs 3:5-6. Today we're going to look at the reward for living out that formula, but we're also going to take a look at some of the consequences of not trusting in God. So the reward of trusting in God is found at the end of Proverbs 3:6. If you remember, that verse says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge Him," and then the very end it gives us the reward, "and He will direct your paths." You know, what a blessing to know that God has our path laid out for us. He knows what He's wanting us to do, okay, and He will guide us along that path if we put our trust in Him. Now, in Psalms 32:8, David talks about God's pathway is the best pathway. And again, if we trust Him, He will give us the best pathway to go. He didn't promise us He was going to give us the easiest pathway. He didn't promise us He would give us the shortest pathway. And we want those kind of things. We want it easy, we want it short. He didn't promise us He'd give us the most lucrative pathway, or the most popular, or the most enjoyable. He just simply promised us, "I will give you the best pathway, and you've got to trust me that whatever comes along, it is part of my plan, and I will get you through that, and I will take you along this pathway." That is the reward for trusting God. But there are also some consequences for not trusting God. And probably the biggest one is we simply live with too much worry and doubt. That is Satan's game plan for our lives. Satan loves it when a Christian is worrying. Satan loves it when a Christian is doubting God and saying, "That can't be what you want, God. Can't be how you want me to do this." But worry and doubt are consequences that come from not trusting. Another consequence of not trusting is we become complainers. And that is a sin. Because what we're saying is, "God, you don't know what's best. Okay? I've got this. I know the best thing I need to do." And so we start complaining and griping and moaning and groaning. And God says, that's not how you are to live. That's a sin to be complaining about the path I have you on. And then another consequence of not trusting God is we have a loss of peace. Philippians 4:6-7 tells us this. It says, "Don't worry about anything." And basically what that is, when you worry about something, it is the total opposite of trust. God's saying, "Trust me." Okay? But He says, "Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need. Thank Him for what He has done." And it says, "Then you will experience His peace." So to live under God's peace that we've been promised, there are some conditions. And one of those conditions is, trust me. You've got to trust me if you want to experience the peace that I give, that passeth all understanding, and will guard your heart and mind. And the fourth thing that it does as a consequence is that it ruins our witness. We are called to be different. And if we're going to react to situations just like the world does, by worrying and fretting and complaining and going through life without any peace, then the world does not see anything different in our lives. And our witness is going to be impaired, and we're not going to have the impact on the world that God wants for us. So as you go through your week this week, I hope you will think about that God has the best pathway for us. And again, it's not the easiest or the quickest a lot of times, but it is what He wants, and it's the best, and we have to trust Him with that. Have a great week.